What up guys, Nakamoto Crypto here. So Vitalik decided to come out PlanB today. The guy who predicted that Bitcoin was going to go to $288,000, you know, the stock to flow model. So today, let's talk about it. Stay tuned, like and subscribe. Let's get right on to it. So Vitalik, the founder of Ethereum, decided to come out PlanB from his false stock flow model today. So who is PlanB? It's basically this guy right here. If you remember, you know, he was the guy who came up with the stock to flow model. It's a accounting based model that follows the price of Bitcoin based on the circulating supply and all of that yada yada, just to calculate the future price of Bitcoin. It is all in an attempt to pretty much predict the future price of Bitcoin. Now he was doing well, PlanB, if you remember him. This is the stock to flow model. He basically got it from this book right here. If you remember, this is the Bitcoin standard. So he was reading it way back in 2017, 2018 time frame, I think. And then if you read this book, there's a segment here that talks about gold and the flow model of gold, stock to flow model. So PlanB had a good idea and said, hey, what if I apply this model to Bitcoin? And then he went and collected all of Bitcoin's data. Based on that, he will try and predict the future price of Bitcoin based on the halvings and all of the mechanics that follows Bitcoin. But, you know, he was doing well, unfortunately, until after April of last year, and he epic failed pretty much. So Bitcoin hit 20,000 in December and then 30,000 in January onwards, 45,000 all the way up to April, and then it started failing from there. So now Vitalik from Ethereum is coming after him. He basically went ahead and said the stock to flow is really not looking good right now. I know it's impolite to gloat and all that, but I think financial models that give people a false sense of certainty and predestination that numbers will go up are actually harmful, and they deserve all the mockery they can get. Well, this is true to an extent because, you know, if you're a public figure like this, don't put your life into a price prediction, because we all know, leave the price prediction to the speculators, i.e., you know, YouTubers can price predict because we speculate, we are investors. You can speculate, the viewers can also speculate, you're an investor. But if it's a public figure and you have a certain amount of following, you need to be careful and staying away from these kind of price predictions. But this guy was trying to back it up with data, and obviously it epic failed because he kept on saying, you know, 100K last year, if you remember, 100K Bitcoin by September, and it didn't happen. September comes around, people mock him on Twitter, and he started blocking people on Twitter. And then he would go on and say, for example, 100K Bitcoin by November, December, it never came. After we peaked in November at 69,000, Bitcoin just kept on dropping and dropping and dropping, and that was the epic fail from PlanB. So PlanB went ahead and responded to Vitalik. He tweeted this and said, after the Bitcoin crash, some people are looking for scapegoats in this cryptocurrency space, you know, somebody to blame. And because of their failed project, Ethereum is not a failed project, come on. And wrong investment decisions, not only newbies, but also altcoin leaders, he says, they all fall to victim blaming others. So remember those who blame others and those who stand strong after a cryptocurrency crash. So there you have it. This was PlanB, and then he went ahead and tweeted this, that the stock flow started working from 2019 to March 2022. I think it got everything right. But then again, you know, 288,000 was just way off. I mean, look, if you was here back in 2017, you know what happened. Halving in 2016, bull market in 2017, bear market in 2018. This is the same strategy that I applied, and I cashed out because I vowed to myself that if 2021 comes around and we have a bull market, I will never sell beyond our 2021 bull market pretty much. So I vowed that halving in 2020, peak in 2021, sell, and then 2022 it's a new bear market. I followed that cycle and I'm good with what I got. But a lot of people, they wrecked themselves because they were following this expanding cycle. Some YouTubers start to talk about this too. Expanding cycle, you know, the lengthening cycle. I almost fell for it too. I talked about it a couple of times in my videos, but then I'm like, who am I lying to? This 4-year cycle, last year we was blessed with 2 peaks. Bitcoin peaked in April at 65,000, dropped down to 30, and then stagnated for a couple months, and then we peaked again towards the end of the year in November. That was exactly like the bull run of 2013. If you remember, when Bitcoin went from 200 all the way up to $1,300 in November of 2013. Here we are, November of 2021, and Bitcoin peaked again, this time at 69,000. Once it started dropping into the high 60s, low 60s, all the way to the high 50s, 57, 58,000, I'm like, that's it, sell now, because December looks like it's going to be bloody, and everybody was waiting for that $100,000 per BTC. But unfortunately, it never came. And guys like PlanB, you know, they became the scapegoats. Everybody attacking them because, look, he was preaching it. If you preaching this one, come on, man. So my point is that if you are a 2017er, how come you did not sell back in December? How come you didn't sell back in November of 2021? Knowing wholeheartedly that Bitcoin follows cycles, and when it comes down, I don't care which altcoin it is, every altcoin and their mother will drop down even further than Bitcoin. If you knew this in your head, you would have cashed out long time ago, like way before we hit even 2022. And this is the mistake a lot of people made. They did not, unfortunately, cash out, and it's going to cost them, because now you're going to have to wait until the halving of 2024. I know it's 300 years away, but let's say around 2 years. April, May, June of 2024 would be a halving, and then 2025 you would see new Bitcoin all-time highs again. But the one thing you need to remember, that the next Bitcoin cycle, you know, PlanB is talking about 288,000 by 2024. It's possible, but I think it is highly probable. Why? Because Bitcoin has diminishing returns now. You've seen what it did in 2017. It went from like 900 all the way up to 20,000. You never get them kind of run-ups. And then in 2020 it dropped to 3,000, and then 2021 you've seen it run all the way up to 69,000. So in order for Bitcoin to go to 288,000, maybe it could drop as low as 12,000. Bless you with another opportunity to buy back in at those levels, and then you can watch it run all the way up to maybe 150,000 or something like that. What if it peaks at 120 and just stops there? Because now you need brand new money for Bitcoin to hit these levels at 288,000. The math is good, but then the money have to come. Institutional money have to come. You had guys like Michael Saylor, you had guys like Elon, and that all throwing their money into Bitcoin last year in 2021. They helped us, I think, peak all the way up to 69,000. But you need way more capital for that to happen. And I think, given the Bitcoin addresses that keep happening right now, by then, if we hit those numbers, maybe we can hit these levels at 2024. Because look at this, guys, 354 million Bitcoin wallet addresses were in circulation back in 2018. This was at the 2018 bear markets. We had 354 million wallet addresses. Since 2018, we are now in 2022. That number is 3 times as high. It multiplied by 3, because right now we are sitting at 976 million Bitcoin wallet addresses, Bitcoin wallet holders. So we are almost 1 billion people on the planet holding Bitcoin in a span of 4 years. So judging by this logic, if we multiply by 3, you are looking at 3 billion people on planet Earth who will be holding Bitcoin by the halving of 2024. If this grows this much, the industry grows that much, you are looking at maybe $5 to $6 trillion during the next peak. That would put Bitcoin somewhere between $150,000 to $200,000. That is more realistic than to say, for example, 288,000, 300,000. And it's not even PlanB. If you remember all of these, the Galaxy people, you know, the Van Eck people and all of that, those institutional investors, they were saying, you know, Bitcoin was gonna hit 300,000 by the end of 2021. But I get it. They were institutional investors, the Wall Street guys. They have to sell Bitcoin to everybody else in Wall Street, so you have to give them high numbers so they can get all amped up. And this is what they were doing last year. But yeah, PlanB is just a scapegoat, guys. The only book that inspired him is the Bitcoin Standard. Go and get it. You know, it only costs like maybe 30 to 40 bucks, and you can read it. It will teach you everything you need to know about money. You know, the gold standard, the fiat standard, how money got to where it is right now, and also, you know, just the fundamentals of Bitcoin and money in general. It's a very useful book. I'm still reading it at this point. Let us know in the comment below, what are your thoughts on the Bitcoin price? Do you think Bitcoin can hit $288,000 like PlanB said by 2024? Let us know in the comment section below. Like up the video, share it, subscribe for some crypto content. I have been Mr. Nakamoto Crypto, and I'm out.